Hi, everybody. You're listening to Cinema 5000. This is the 97th Annual Academy Awards day after recap of who won, what, how the ceremony was, and any thoughts I have, if any. I didn't really realize this, but the day after, I sort of have come to the conclusion that I really don't care for many of these movies nominated and these winners, so I'm feeling a bit neutral about everything. But if I think about the collective experience of watching the Oscars, it was an entertaining show, and I think a lot of that is thanks to its host, Conan O'Brien. He just had that right touch, and maybe it's just my sense of like what I find funny for comedy and humor, but I thought he was really solid, and I would love to see Conan come back again. So congratulations, Conan O'Brien. And I won't lie, he really won me over at the beginning. I was hoping for sure that Conan would make jokes about the substance, and sure enough, the very first gag he does as host is, well, if you saw it, you know, but the thing that happens in the substance, that is very much of the substance. So I was quite happy. So let's talk about just the things that happened that were not winners. There were a number of tributes that happened during the show, and I think some of them were fine. The show opened up with like a tribute to Los Angeles because of what has happened with the wildfires that have destroyed a lot of the neighborhoods in the city, and a lot of people have lost their homes, and some actors and performers and people in the industry have been very upfront and been like, I've lost everything. I liked the tribute to LA, though that crossed then into a Wicked tribute with songs from that. Ariana Grande singing Somewhere Over the Rainbow, and then Cynthia Erivo singing things like Defying Gravity, and I can't remember what the other songs were. But yeah, that was okay. I think, though, the quality of the performers was top notch. I mean, you can't ask for somebody better than Cynthia Erivo, and Ariana Grande doing Somewhere Over the Rainbow was really nice. Really well done, and they looked fantastic. Great gowns. Not sarcasm there. Then there was a Bond tribute a little later on. There was some dancing. Margaret Qualley was dancing, and then we had Lisa, Doja Cat, and Ray singing. I wasn't really a fan of this. Like, it was fine. It was all right. Nice dresses. I don't think I really liked what Ray was wearing, and I think I was mixed on Lisa's, and I did like Doja Cat's because she's saying diamonds are forever, and she was wearing diamonds essentially. I felt like this was a little off. I think of Bond, and I hate to say it, I don't really think about the themes and the way that this was really executed. I more sort of think about the Bond characters themselves, and then the Bond girls, and maybe some of the action sequences, and I felt like that was a little lost here. It more so felt like, we'll perform these famous songs. Lisa did Live and Let Die. As I said, Doja Cat did Diamonds Are Forever, and then Ray did Skyfall. Ray, big task trying to fill Adele's shoes. I think she did okay, but it was noticeably just not of a certain quality. I hate to say it, but I think collectively this could have been a better conceived tribute for Bond. If you're really going to do Bond, and maybe like a maybe tighter medley. Like, it did 3 songs, but it would have been more interesting in my thought of like, do a song for each different actor that's played Bond, like for their themes, and then you can reference all of them, like in those little parts with like, stuff happening behind the scenes and maybe some dancing to do with that. I don't know. This was not for me. Then later, there was a tribute to Quincy Jones. They had Queen Latifah come out and sing Get On Down the Road from The Wiz. And to introduce was Oprah Winfrey and Whoopi Goldberg, and I think this was a nice tribute, but I will say, and at the latter part in the evening, I feel like this should have been earlier. I just felt like it was a little misplaced. I don't know. There was some good dancing and performing, but I hate to say it, I haven't seen The Wiz, and now I'm like, I gotta see The Wiz. But nice to see Queen Latifah singing. I really like Queen Latifah. She is so good in like everything, and when she pops up in a movie, I'm like, heck yeah, Queen Latifah's here. And guys, if you have not seen Her rom-coms, Just Right and Last Holiday, you're missing out. Those are just some sweet, lovely movies. And of course, Queen Latifah, she's in Chicago. Were there other tributes? I'm trying to think if there was. My brain is not really computing and thinking about them, but, there was moments that Conan had the sandworm from Dune come out. I liked those bits. I could use the sandworm like one more time. It would have been great. Just a nice like take on things. And overall, I think Conan's jokes like hit the mark. The joke about Carlos Sofia Gascon and how Honora has like all these curse words in it, and that that like is like the same as the number of curse words that her publicist made when she, like, it came out like she had made some very offensive tweets over the years, and like recent-ish times, not like ages and ages ago. So yeah, Conan good, tributes all right. The In Memoriam, I didn't really care for it this year. The song choice was not so great, and there are a number of people visibly missing from it. And I've seen this mentioned a couple times, like they did very much nothing for David Lynch. They just showed him in the In Memoriam. It would have been brilliant to have, I mean, they were there in the audience, have Laura Dern and Isabella Rossellini, as well as like Kyle MacLachlan and anybody else who is available who has been in Lynch's films. Willem Dafoe was there as well, just to talk about David Lynch briefly, and then show like some of the great moments in his films, especially since a number of his movies have had Oscar nominated performances, so why not? And he was nominated for Best Director for Mulholland Drive, so like what's it gonna take to get Naomi Watts? Like, have like the people come out that are so recognizable from David Lynch movies, just for a moment to say something about, you know, his work, because he is such an influential filmmaker. His movies will stand the test of time, and like people are discovering them every day. Younger audiences are familiar with him, and even Twin Peaks, I mean, that is such a mark on like the world for like the, you know, the culture of how we talk about what television has become because of him, and how that extends into film. So yeah, it's just sad. And of course there was no performances of the nominated songs, and I think that's why they did the Wicked opening, because there's no original song for the movie Wicked, so they had to touch upon Wicked because that and as far as like what's nominated for anything is the movie that's made the most money, so they're guessing a lot of people are watching the Oscars for, you know, that. But let's talk about the winners. Actor in a supporting role, the winner was Kieran Culkin. Everybody knew this was gonna happen. I was pretty neutral on this, but I would have liked to see Guy Pearce win, or even Edward Norton, Yuri Borisov. Yeah, sure. Jeremy Strong. I think he is just so incredible in The Apprentice, and it's a movie I don't really like, but I would say watch it for his performance if you haven't. But yeah, unfortunately, he just didn't win a single award. Guy Pearce wasn't nominated everywhere either. Edward Norton and Jeremy Strong kind of a lot of places, as well as Yuri Borisov. But of course, Kieran Culkin, he's sort of got every kind of award for this category. So here he was, and he won, and yeah, he gave a kind of expected speech, I would say, and he was the first winner of the night. Then animated feature film went to Flow, a really nice accepted speech from Gintz Zelbs, I'm butchering it, Zilbaldos. Gintz Zilbaldos is from Latvia, and he did say that this was the first Oscar for anybody from Latvia, which is wow. But yeah, a good win. I actually thought The Wild Robot would win because it had more nominations, but I'm happy to see that Flow won here, so it was a nice victory for them. Animated short film went to In the Shadow of the Cypress. I haven't seen it. I don't know if it's great, but it won, so that's awesome. And then for costume design, this went to Wicked. Kind of expected it. Paul Tazewell, who won, gave a great speech. He says, "I'm the first black man to win this award for costume design, and I will not be the last." And yeah, that's one of those speeches you just love to see, because he's up there and he's having his moment and he is owning it. And you just want the best for someone like that, who is able to say that on TV and be, you know, recognized for their work. And I will say the Wicked costumes were probably the thing I I expected it to win just because of how these awards work, but there were points where there were some really lovely costuming done in Wicked, and Paul Tazwell has worked in Broadway. He mentioned that and done a couple films, so we'll see if he comes back next year with the Oscars and Wicked for Good for the nominations. I bet he does. Okay, so writing original screenplay, the winner was Sean Baker for Anora, and what do you know, this was not the only Oscar he won that night. Writing adapted screenplay went to Peter Strahan for Conclave. Congratulations. I was sure both of those would win, Anora and Conclave, in these categories, adaptive screenplay and original, so no surprise. Makeup and hairstyling went to The Substance. Yes, great, excellent. I love that the folks who won in this category showed up with green touches. One lady was wearing The Substance green. Yes, I love it when people do that and they reference their work, the film that they're from. Gosh, what's her name? Jenny Beeman from back when Fury Road. She won for costume design. She had the jacket with the thing on it. It's great. I'm always so happy with the costuming people and the makeup and hairstyling people if they go for it with their looks. Film editing, this went to Sean Baker for editing Anora. I was sure that the Academy would give this to Amelia Perez just because, well, they're the Academy, but nice to see Sean Baker win, not just his second Oscar, but win for editing, because he, Blood, Sweat, and Tears, this is his project through and through. He gave a nice speech here, too. He gave nice speeches all night. Actress in a supporting role, no surprise. The winner was Zoe Saldana from Amelia Perez. Yeah, I was kind of mixed on this category. Would have liked to see Monica Barbaro or Isabella Rossellini win, but nobody was surprised that Zoe won. She won just about everything. For production design, this actually went to Wicked. I was thinking this would go in any direction but Wicked. I was thinking The Brutalist. I was thinking maybe Conclave, even Dune Part 2, because that's very heavy on design. And Nosferatu, lovely movie, but it went to Wicked. I don't think it looks that great, but that's your winner. Music original song, this went to El Mal from Amelia Perez. Clement Ducol and Camille were there, as well as Jacques Audiard, because Jacques Audiard helped with writing the lyrics. And then Camille did the cringiest thing I think of the night, besides something else I'll mention. Emilia! She just started singing, and it was so awkward. I stand by preferring the track Mi Camino over El Mal. I just don't really care for it. Documentary short film, the winner was The Only Girl in the Orchestra. I really thought it was between this and Instruments of a Beating Heart. I was leaning on Instruments of a Beating Heart, but yeah, not too surprised The Only Girl in the Orchestra won. It should have been Incident all day long. I'll say it. Go do yourself a favor and go on YouTube and watch Incident. It's available on YouTube to watch. That is a tremendous short documentary. And I will say, I think it's probably one of the best nominations of the entire year, Incident. So, yeah. Documentary feature film. Now, this went to No Other Land, which was a great win. This movie has been making the rounds on festivals and such and selected screenings. It doesn't really have distribution in the United States, but it's made its way to the Oscars and it won. So great win. My other pick, I haven't seen No Other Land. I haven't got the chance to see it, but if I had to pick anything, I've only seen 2 of these nominated, but I did really like Shiori Ito's Black Box Diaries. That was a great documentary. For sound, the winner was Dune Part 2. So great win for Dune here. I was thinking, because of the music and the connection to James Mangold and Ford versus Ferrari, he was going to win again here for him specifically, but the craftsman he works with, I thought they were going to win for A Complete Unknown. But no, Dune Part 2, they got up there, the crew, and they thanked Denis Villeneuve. And then immediately after that, visual effects winner went to Dune Part 2, which I was not surprised about. Knew it was going to happen. Dune Part 2 it was going to happen. The only other movie I thought maybe had a chance was Better Man, the Robbie Williams film. But no, that's okay. I do love the monkey stuff, but Dune Part 2 just kind of had it in the bag. For live action short film, this went to I'm Not a Robot. I haven't seen this one. I know it's on YouTube, so I'm going to go ahead and check it out. But they gave a good speech, the winners. Best cinematography, no surprise here, went to The Brutalist. Director Lowell Crawley got on stage and talked about the film and making it. And this is the movie that should have won, I just think, based on the trajectory of these awards and such. But I would have loved to have seen Ed Lachman win for Maria or Nosferatu, Sharon Bakshi. Those are great cinematographers. International feature film. The upset we all wanted, we got. The winner was Brazil's I'm Still Here, not Francis Amelia Perez. Yay! Terrific. I do think you should go online and look up some of the videos of folks in Brazil seeing this win as it happened. Just tremendous. Wow. What a great win here. It's a good film. I can't hate. I'm just so glad it's not Amelia Paris. Music original score went to The Brutalist, composer Daniel Blumberg. I thought this was going to win. It just sort of had that thing, the dun, 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 it kind of announces the film and brings it all together. So actor in a leading role, the winner was Adrian Brody, and he gave, oh man, I mentioned cringe. Yeah, pretty cringy kind of acceptance speech here that just kept going and going. Ooh boy. I really wanted Timothée Chalamet or Coleman Domingo or Ray Fiennes, even Sebastian Stan. I don't care for the Brody anymore. Sorry, buddy. Yeah. All right. So director went to Anora, Sean Baker. He gave a great speech talking about the movies. Now, he'd already gotten up there twice for original screenplay and editing. So on his third shot, Sean Baker brought out the guns, talking about how important it is to have theatrical exhibition, theatrical exhibition, as in movies shown in theaters. And it was a great speech. Look it up. Probably my favorite speech of the night, I want to say. Yeah, maybe. For actress in a leading role, the winner was Mikey Madison in Anora. She didn't really seem shocked. She was just kind of like, oh my gosh, I went. But I get the sense she's maybe a shy person, because she didn't go like, oh my God, or anything like that. But yeah, I was hoping Demi Moore would win here. Maybe even Fernanda Torres. It's a good win for Mikey Madison. But yeah, it just would have been really nice for Demi Moore. It didn't happen, though, so it is what it is. And the final award of the night was Best Picture, and it went to Anora. So Sean Baker won 4 Oscars, which is crazy. I didn't think that would happen. I really didn't. That's why I was thinking Anora for sure, like for Best Original Screenplay. It just doesn't seem like a thing where a movie that has like such a like small kind of focus. I mean, it is an independent film, and one of the producers got up there, Alex Coca, I believe, and he said the movie cost only $6 million to make. It just doesn't happen usually at the Oscars, but hey, it did here. So Sean Baker won it all, the big winner. And I was immediately thinking after this happened, like, well, this is like the Parasite win, where it was just like almost every award that they were up for, they just kept winning. Yeah, of these picture nominations, I mean, I'm not like really favoring. I mean, I was thinking Conclave would win, because I thought for sure Conclave just sort of had that feel of like a winner for Oscar, and plus Edward Berger's movie All Quiet on the Western Front did pretty good a couple years ago. But it didn't happen, so I guess Sonora is it. But I did think director for Sean Baker was for sure going to happen. I just got that feel of like, it seems like one of those movies like from the 70s or 60s that would kind of succeed in that way. But I guess people really like Anora, who vote in the Academy. Yeah, I would have preferred, if not Conclave, Dune Part 2 or The Substance, but I knew those had no chance. Yeah, so it was an entertaining Oscars despite some issues here and there. I'd probably give it like a B. But for Conan O'Brien as a host, I would give him like an A minus. Just really solid. And you can tell he was nervous in times. And every time he introduced someone, it was like funny and it was good. And like he had good timing on everything. And he did this number where he talked about we're not going to waste any time, and it was funny. It's like it was very reminiscent of something he's done that was like a Music Man kind of thing for the Emmys when he hosted one year. yeah, and it was just a very entertaining way to talk about the movies. And there was this bit that they parried. It was like, are you sick of watching movies streaming at home? You should go to a cinema screens. And it was like, wait, I can sit in the theater and leave my house? It was a funny bit, like little things like that. This movie was very pro going to the movie theater, and I really appreciate that, because I saw someone else mention, like, in the past they talk about how long the movies are, and it's just like really kind of getting down on like what watching a movie is like. But yeah, it truly is. There is no better place to see a movie than in the theater. I will agree with that. And in fact, I'm looking at every movie nominated here, and the only movies I watched out of the Best Picture nominations that I didn't see in a theater were Wicked and Emilia Perez. And Emilia Perez specifically because it was on Netflix, and Wicked specifically because I just didn't think I could make through Wicked in a theater, because I knew it wouldn't really be my thing. I didn't know how badly it wouldn't be my thing, but yeah, I saw most of these nominees in the theater, and next year I'll, do my best the same. But yeah, I really appreciate Sean Baker and other filmmakers talking about how important it is to be a part of the world of film, and also, the movie experience and its craftspeople too were affected so much by the fires in LA, and that was mentioned too. The firefighters came out and they got a round of applause too, because they have done so much work for Los Angeles. And Los Angeles isn't just the home to like the movie industry, it is home to just a lot of people in general. And what Los Angeles is, I mean, think about the history of Hollywood and how many people have lived there, how many films have been shot there. It's a huge thing. And yeah, it's really tragic what's happened. But yeah, that was the Oscars 2025, the 97th Annual Academy Awards. Yeah, it was all right. It was fine, I guess. Only 2 for Emilia Paris. 3 for The Brutalist. We got 4 for Sean Baker, but 5 for Nora. That's the big winner, of course. And yeah, 1 for I'm Still Here, 1 for Real Pain, and yeah, that's that. Yeah, not that many variations of the winners. And A Complete Unknown went home empty-handed. Dune Part 2 got 2. The Substance got makeup and hairstyling. So yeah. Yeah, so that's it. That's all I'm talking for Oscars. If you missed it, you didn't go to cinema5000.com, I recommend you do so and look at the blog, because that's where I posted the list of my assignments of different kinds of seltzer to each nominated picture for Best Picture. So Anora was the big winner. I gave that beverage to Anora of the non-alcoholic White Claw. If you want to read that whole list, go to cinema5000.com, look on the blog. There's also a YouTube video there, because I'm putting everything on YouTube. I hope you enjoy that. I hope you check out the other videos on the page that I'm going to start putting in there. Like, it's going to be a regular thing now, where I upload the episodes on YouTube, if you want to use YouTube. I know a lot of you do. But yeah, I'm Mallory. Thank you so much for listening. We'll have a new episode in a couple days talking about regular movies I've seen, all that fun stuff. But yeah, cinema5000.com, cinema5000 on Bluesky, and you can send an email to cinema5kpod@gmail.com. Again, I'm Mallory. Thank you for listening. I'll talk to you later. Bye.